The Wanda Metropolitano is the new stadium of the Atlético de Madrid since 2017. It is categorized as an elite stadium by the UEFA. It is definitely one of the best stadiums of all Europe. This masterpiece of engineering was designed by the architects Antonio Cruz and Antonio Ortiz with the help of the engineer Mike Slach. They basically start over the Peineta Stadium. First of all, they have to complete the stands because the stadium had a stand in just one side. That's why they call it Peineta Stadium because it looked just as an Ormalentan com. For this, they built a lot of porches, which is this structure you are looking at, and it is basically two pillars attached to a joist. All this to achieve enough stability, so then it doesn't fall. Well, all these porches are placed around the wall file, and on the top of that, it is placed lots of concrete slabs, and then the stands are finally built with curved metal planets around them. Thanks to this, the stadium goes from having a capacity of 22,000 people to be big enough to have a capacity of 68,000 people.
An interesting fact of this stadium is that the playing field is actually sunken on a crater 15 meters down, and because of this, the stands are using to the inclination as support. In this picture, we can have another scene of a stadium that is not using the ground as a support as the Wanda Metropolitano. Now, we get the main part of the building, which is covered the stadium. It works as a bike wheel, but horizontally. The bike wheel has an outer ring and an inner ring united by radial wires, and these wires are stretching, tending to the lengthen as well the inner ring. All is this making outer ring to be compressed, decreasing the size. And all the mentioning is what happens with the stadium. First, we have a double steel ring above the stand, which is the other ring, and on the field center we have a smaller double ring working as the inner ring, joining both rings with a lot of steel wires collocated this way, making itself look like a bike wire, but in a more interesting way, making a precious geometry.
All these cables are straight enough to hold too much weight. Absolutely everything you put on them, it will hold it. You could even hang a lot of airplanes and elephants and it won't fail. To make it short, the structure of the stadium is an outer compression double ring and an inner pull double ring joined by a lot of steel wires that are also in traction. Once all the cables were placed, they were covered with very light plastic panels that are also very sturdy and flexible. And since this plastic is translucent, this allows the passage of sunlight, lighting up the entire stems. This spectacular cover makes that the 96% of the seats are covered, which is not usual because the majority of the stadiums cover a very small percentage of the stands and most of the people are exposed. And if it rains, they get wet, and if it's hot, they are hot. These are some examples of the stadiums that aren't as cool as the Wanda Metropolitano and doesn't cover too much of the stands. There are also other stadiums that do cover enough part of the stands, but they look just as a boring donut. And it does not end just there. The stadium has a LED system that can project up to 16 million colors that allows dynamic visual shows to set all kinds of events, from football games to concerts. The view from the air is absolutely great, and the view from the inside is even greater.
The Stadio Macron isn't as big as Wanda Metropolitana. The Wanda Metropolitana isn't half as variety of food as a stadium Akron. The Wanda Metropolitana isn't give you all the sun to the urgers as Stadium Akron. The design of Estadio Akron isn't as the same as Wanda Metropolitana.